Hi, I'm Sophia Louisa Lee. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of So Zoom In. Please hit like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. I love bringing you fascinating people that we get to zoom in on. Today, we will be speaking with Rebecca Whitman. She is a beautiful soul, and she is a success mentor. No, we're full swing into 2022. We need to keep our goals going. So she's going to be sharing some tips with us, and she will be in right now. Oh, that's good. Yeah. So we'll just dive on in. You are a success mentor. What
Yes, I am.
exactly is that? I just have to put that out there.
So, a success mentor is someone who has done it and is teaching other people how to do it. So, a coach to me is someone who's from the sidelines, but a mentor is someone who is going to show you step by step how to do it, which is why my official title is success mentor and not life coach.
Oh, I love that. Okay, well, you have written a book that pretty much spells it out too. Yes, yes,
Yay.
yes. And it's available on Amazon, right?
Yes, Amazon, and it's free on Audible. And it's read in my own voice. And yeah, the book, How to Make a Six-Figure Income Working Part-Time, divides life into 7 pillars of abundance. So a lot of people think from the title, is it like a get rich quick thing or a business plan? It's actually how I have personally been able to make 6 figures working part-time now for over 15 years. And how I do it is I divide life into 7 pillars of abundance. And when all 7 pillars of life are in alignment, you can manifest a 6 figure income part time, your soulmate. I just got married a month ago. You
Yes.
can manifest being in great shape, and it all just works together. I used to call it work life balance. Now I call it work life harmony, because
Ooh,
harmony is when everything's just working together to make a beautiful life.
I love that. All right. And what's so interesting right now, the whole world seems to be unbalanced. And I was thinking the best way to get in balance is for each person to find the balance within themselves. Right.
That's true.
So I was thinking if someone doesn't even realize they're out of whack, how do they come to that realization?
Oh, I think they realize it. I mean, people are not happy. So when you're in balance and in alignment, that means you're happy. So if you're not happy, that means you're out of balance, you're out of alignment. So when you figure out, okay, I'm unhappy, then you want to ask yourself, what do I want? How do I feel? And what changes are needed to get what I want? So those are the 3 questions that you want to ask yourself. And I have people ask them in each pillar of abundance. So, like, the first one is spirituality, the second one is fitness, the third one is emotional life, romantic life, mental life, social life, and finally financial life. What do I want in my finances? How do I feel about how I'm doing in my finances and what changes are needed to get what I want? So that kind of helps you get each of the 7 areas of life to a level 10.
So if someone doesn't know how to answer those questions for themselves, would you
Mhm.
be able to help them find an answer?
Oh yeah, I have free coaching sessions. I give the first 45-minute session for free. I like to call it a breakthrough call. And just in that first 45-minute session, maybe you have just general discontentment and something just doesn't feel right, you feel off and you don't know why. I can help you look at your life in those areas and kind of drill down as to which area is off and give you some tips, tools, and strategies on how to get it to a level 10, just in the first free 45-minute breakthrough call.
Oh, wow. That sounds exciting. I would think people would be calling left and right, like right now, because there's so much insanity going on right now.
Yeah, there is.
But it's the new year. People still have goals. They haven't given up on yet because it's still early. I mean, hard to believe January is already over. But what got you interested in something like this? What brought you to this place?
That's a great question. I was taught it's better to look good than to feel good. And I always had everything together on the outside. I was a Ivy League graduate, nationally ranked tennis player. And what happened, I really thought in order to look good on the outside, I had to be married with kids. So that area of my life eluded me. So when I was 39, I met a guy And he was not someone that I normally would have married, but I was like, okay, my biological clock is ticking and I want to look good and get married and have kids so I can check off that box in my report card. And I married someone who I probably should have never married. And it was a really painful marriage. And we were 3 years into it. And as the marriage was falling apart, my dad was dying. And I was sitting in my dad's nursing home, and he said, Rebecca, I want you to write something. I don't care if it's a book, an essay, a magazine article, or a blog, just write something. And then my dad's funeral soon after that was on a Wednesday. My divorce was finalized on a Friday, but I was okay. Like, I was having the best fiscal year of my life, and I was in great shape, and I was relatively high vibe or happy. And I was sitting in my financial planner's office in workout clothes, and he's like, Rebecca, I'm looking at your portfolio and I know you've had a hard year. You've been divorced, your dad died, but somehow your finances are better than they've ever been. Why don't you write a book empowering women on how you're doing it? So I said, you know what? I'm going to write that book. So I looked at my life, and I looked at what was working, and of course I felt the grief and pain for my divorce. Of course I felt those feelings, and it was very sad. But I also didn't want to just shrivel up under a blanket and just like cry for a year. I wanted to continue thriving, and how I did that was looking at these 7 pillars of abundance and keep working towards getting them to a level 10. And it really made me feel quite resilient. And now I want to inspire other people, especially women, to lead a life of resilience, grit, and grace.
Oh, I love that. It sounds so beautiful. Now, you have a podcast yourself that you share these kind of tips. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I would love to. It's called the Balanced, Beautiful, Abundant Show. And what I do is I interview experts in each of these 7 pillars of abundance. And I'm so excited. My last episode was with the biggest person I've ever interviewed. His name is David Meltzer, and he's like made $100 million, lost $100 million. He was the CEO of the Lee Steinberg Agency, which the movie Jerry Maguire was based on. And he's just a huge influencer, coach, CEO, and he was on the podcast. So I have everyone on it, from nutritional experts to romance experts, everything and everything in between, mental health advocates, and it's just an incredible show.
Oh, it sounds great because, well, there's so many things to get into balance. I mean,
Yes.
especially nowadays as women, we have so many things on our plates, whether you're married with kids or single, or no matter what situation you're in, there's always something. But I think a lot of times women forget to really take care of themselves.
Yes.
So what would you say is the first step to taking care
Yes,
of yourself?
that is a great question. Women do. We're taught that self-care is selfish, and the worst thing you could call a woman is selfish, right? Because we're taught to be givers and nurturers and mothers. But I teach the opposite. I teach that it's good to practice self-care, and selfish is actually a compliment, because that means you're doing self-care, because we can't pour from an empty cup. So I don't want women to be burned out, depleted, overwhelmed, drained. And when women get burnt out, it's because they're giving from nothing. They don't have their cup filled up first. So self-care is whatever, it's so many things. It's all the 7 pillars, but it's getting a good night's sleep. I'm a huge believer in having a morning practice. And I'm a big fan of the Miracle Morning, which talks about savers, which are scribing, or silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading, scribing. So having a morning practice. Saying no is a big part of self-care, because if it doesn't light you up, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. And I encourage my clients to walk away from the hell maybes. So all these things help fill you up so you can practice self-care first. And I think the most important thing is exercise. So I like to say, body before business, health is wealth. If you don't know how to find time to exercise, plan your day around your exercise. And I know some people, they work 9 to 5, will get up earlier or do your workout at lunch or even just walk. Walking is such great exercise. Count your steps. Almost every cell phone now has a step counter. And just put your health first, because if you don't have health, you don't have anything to give to other people. And I feel like health is even more important than finances, because if you make $1 million a month, but you're not able to get out and enjoy your money and see people, and what's the point of being at home by yourself in a bed with $1 million a month? So I really, really encourage people to put their health and their self-care first.
Oh, that's great. I love that. All right, so say you're newly married. Is your partner very supportive of your morning routine?
He is. He gets up way earlier than I do. So I wake up at about between 6:30 and 7. He wakes up between 5:15 and 5:30. So he goes and he walks the dog and has his coffee, and then I wake up and I do my morning routine. I like drinking lemon water, and then I have tea with honey, and it's a special kind of honey with like royal food, super jelly, and all this stuff. I can tell you more about it later. It's from, I don't even remember the company. Message me. But I have like special honey in my tea, and then I start my affirmation. So one of the great things that I do for my clients in a training called Elegant Warrior Training is I help them have 21 customized affirmations. So I read my 21 customized affirmations. You can also get 21 affirmations in this book, it comes with it. But I read the affirmations, then I write. I have this formula for writing that I've been using for decades. I like to call it my God journal. I also I can give that to your listeners as a free gift. It's like an abundance journal.
Beautiful.
And the prompts help me switch my negative thinking to positive, because everything is in your perception and your perspective. So it's really been a great tool. And then I'll do like a couple minutes of meditation and prayer. If I have more time, I'll do more than a couple minutes, but at least try to connect for a couple minutes. And then I go work out. And that's my morning. And my husband works out with me. So that's
Oh,
where he jumps into my morning practice. And it's something that really bonds us. And we work out together, 4 times a week. It's amazing.
oh, that's great. Well, I think that's so good too for a relationship when you're doing something that's for yourself, but doing it together, you make it about the two of you. So it sounds like you're building a strong foundation on both fronts.
We are, and we're on a health and wellness journey together. So we see a nutritionist together, and we take the same supplements, and we're just in support of each other, which is, not anything I had experienced before this. I had relationships where guys were like, "Well, why do you have to take all that stuff?" And "Why are you working out?" And "What do you think you are, an A-list actress? Like, why do you need a massage or a facial?" And I'm like, I am living my life. I don't think just A-list actors and actresses should have like self-care and feel like they're living their best life. I am trying to find ways to do that on my budget so I have a well taken care of life, and
Right.
I feel like I have everything that they have because I found a way to do it at a lower budget.
Oh, I love it. That's so cool. All right. So I have to say, I remember not too long ago, I was in a toxic relationship myself. And I remember a girlfriend of mine said, "Well, Sophia, you are older now, you're not going to find anyone else, so make it work." And it was at the point where I'm like, no, this isn't happening. And so anyway, it ended up ending. And since then, I feel like I'm really coming into my own, which is awesome because, I'm discovering who I am when all these years I didn't feel like it. But so many women feel that mindset of, well, if I don't hook up with someone, I'll never hook up. And I'm thinking, why is that important to even have that mindset? you know, isn't it more important to know who you are? And then once you know who you are, then if it happens, the universe brings it to you. Wouldn't that fit into like the 7 pillars? Finding your own balance, and then something comes in if it's meant to be.
Exactly.
Or
Finding your own happiness first, but when people say to women, "Oh, you better like take whoever you can, you're getting older," that is putting an expiration date on women's beauty and on women's value. And that is the old paradigm. That is the old patriarchy that controlled women and oppressed women by making them think they were too old, too fat, not good enough. And that's how women bought products, and that's how women, didn't step into their power. But yeah, what if you knew that you could manifest your soulmate at any age? I believe you can. I had a woman come to my Manifest Your Soulmate workshop, and she was like in her late 50s, and she's manifesting her soulmate now. And it's like your dreams don't have an expiration date, your love life doesn't have an expiration date. That is all fear-based thinking. So, what if you knew that you could walk away from that toxic relationship and actually have someone that treated you like a queen? So, that's what my ex said to me. He's like, "Oh my God, you're 45, you're in LA, which is a town obsessed with youth, and you're never going to find anyone." And I was like, "Well, you know what? I'd rather be alone than in bad company." So I walked away and I just said, God, if I'm meant to be alone, I'm meant to be alone. I was like, I just want to be around happy, positive, supportive people, pets, friends. Like, I didn't even care if I ever found love again. And then when I really surrendered it and said, you know what, whatever happens, happens, I just want to be around positive, loving people. That's when my soulmate walked into my life, and it's a totally different style of relationship. It's easy, it's fun, we're best friends. There's no name calling, competition, fighting. It's just amazing.
That's so, and it's amazing how your life changes when you have that, right? When you have that love, and it's like you go to bed, not, it's like you can't wait to wake up in the morning, right? It's like you,
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a Dr. Seuss quote that says, about be with someone that makes you excited to wake up in the morning. But I wanted to wake up with someone that was actually in a good mood in the morning. That was important to me because I have had exes that wake up like grumpy and, just having that in the morning, like that just brings me down. So yeah, like I'm excited to wake up, he's excited to wake up. It's a beautiful life, but I had to get excited to wake up first. You know what I'm saying? That's what the seven pillars is. It's like it's not I'll have a relationship and then I'll be happy. It's first I'll be happy and then I'll have a relationship because I'm happy, and I will magnetize and attract that into my life.
would you say that's hard for people to do? I mean, because it sounds like it would be like, okay, I'm going to do it, but to actually implement it and do what it takes to be happy, to take care of yourself, to set your boundaries. Would you say that's a challenge, big challenge for a lot of people?
It is. That's why you need a coach. That's why you need community and support and podcasts like your podcast, Sophia, and constant reinforcement because it is hard. I'm constantly, even though I'm happily married, I'm constantly working on myself. I'm in masterminds and coaching groups, and I'm constantly listening to podcasts and Audible, and I keep want I keep wanting to reinforce my personal growth and my happiness because I know that all the good that I'm manifesting in my life comes from getting my mind right. It's all a mindset.
Exactly. Right. And you have to keep growing, keep learning. And I
Yeah.
think that keeps you young too. I mean, as you're constantly learning and not taking anything for granted, that really keeps you going. I,
Yeah.
so how often do you give workshops?
So I do a free workshop every month. So I'm not sure when this podcast will air, but my next free workshop is February 13th. It's actually on how to manifest your soulmate. So I have broken it down into 7 steps, and these are the 7 steps that I did to manifest Ben. So that's going to be a free Zoom training. So everybody's invited. And if you're interested, you can get on the wait list. Sophia will have a link to my email. And yeah, I do a free workshop every month. So last month it was on setting, our affirmations for the year. It's going to be this month will be February. It will be on your soulmate. Probably March, I'll do something for fitness. And that's my commitment this year is to give a free workshop. And then, of course, if we resonate, you can also sign up for my one-on-one or group coaching programs. I have Elegant Warrior Training, which is an awesome group coaching program where I get all 7 areas of life to a level 10. And I just started a group last week. So this week we're in the second week, which is fitness. And then I have a Create Your Six-Figure Side Hustle program where I help you take your passion to profit and actually help you launch a business with your idea. And so those are the two big programs that I have right now.
That sounds really exciting. Now, is this open to men and women or just
It is open to men and women, but my ideal avatar has been women. But I wouldn't turn away a man if I interviewed him and I felt that he was a great fit.
right? Well, because I know there are a lot of men too who want that soulmate connection, or they feel stuck and they don't know how to get out of it, and you know, and sometimes they just need that little extra, umph. So I would I would wonder, I have a lot of men out in my audience too, so I don't want them to feel
Yeah.
excluded.
So the free workshop, absolutely, for Manifest Your Soulmate. Absolutely, they can come and check it out, and they can hear the 7 steps to manifesting their soulmate too. Yeah. So if you have male listeners in your office, definitely send me a DM or an email, and we'll get you on the free training on how to manifest your soulmate for sure.
I love it. So these 7 pillars, they could be applied to making money, to finding soulmate, to finding balance within yourself. Pretty much everything that makes you whole or can make you whole.
Well, the 7 pillars are 7 key areas of life.
Mm-hmm.
So each pillar is a separate area. And then when you get that area to a level 10, then that's the goal and you can be whole. So you're not going to have all 7 pillars at a level 10 at the same time because that's impossible. So you might be killing it in your finances and then you don't have as much time to socialize. Or you might be in great shape, but you're not, I don't know, making the money that you want. So that's why it helps to have a coach kind of fine tune each area to see what is working and what is not working and how we can get the areas that are not working to a level 10, and also how to celebrate that you probably do have 1, 2, or more of these areas at a level 10 and celebrate the wins. And I think if you can figure out what's working in one area, that can also help another. So like for myself, I've always been really good at sales and making money, but my love life was, an area that was usually, really hurtful to me. Like I have had a lot of heartbreak. And I hired a coach and he's like, well, why don't you apply the same mindset to your love life that you do your sales and your finances? And that was like a huge paradigm shift for me because I started coming from an abundance mentality because I know in sales, if somebody says no, it's okay. I don't take it personally. I just keep going. But I was taking every date and everything that happened in my love life so personally. And I was like, you know what? It is not personal. It's a numbers game. Dating, sales, it's auditions. We're both actresses. It's not personal. It's all a numbers game. And when I took that out of it, when I really took my ego out of it and learned to detach and realize it's just the law of averages, that gave me a lot of freedom in my love life.
That's awesome. All right. So how did you meet your significant other?
Well, I met him because we both worked out at the same gym. He worked out early in the morning. I did not. I worked out more like 9:30.
Yeah.
And we never would have met at the gym, but the owner of the gym, which is called Circuit Works, it's a great gym here in LA. It's a HIIT training gym. He had a backyard barbecue, like a summer barbecue in June of 2018, and my book launch was the following week. So I invited Ben and everyone else at the party to my book launch, and Ben showed up and he bought a book and he said, I bought the book, but I don't want you to sign it at the book launch party. I want you to sign it at dinner. And that was our first date. And we closed down the restaurant. We couldn't stop talking. We had such a great connection. Our first 3 dates, we closed down the restaurants because we were like time stop. We kept talking and talking and talking. They'd be like, tables putting upside down, cleaning. We're like, oh, wow, I guess they want us to leave. So we just had this great connection and we've been together ever since.
Oh, that's wonderful. Congratulations. That's so awesome. And you intentionally put that out there. That's what.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
did. I mean,
awesome.
I have wanted to manifest a soulmate my whole life, and it's so crazy. It's they always say when you're not looking is when you manifest it, and I'm like, oh come on, how can you not look for your soulmate? Like, how do you not look for love? We're meant to love. And I was actually doing what is called a dating detox. I was taking a 90-day break. I have been on so many dating sites. I hired a matchmaker. I just was like, oh my God, I couldn't find anyone that I even wanted to be friends with. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a 90-day dating detox. I'm not going to think about my love life, talk about it, talk to men even for more than 2 seconds, like, hi, how are you? That's it. Like, not even engage. And that is when I really surrendered. I was like 6 weeks into this 90-day dating detox is when I met Ben.
Oh, wow. And then just changed everything.
It
That's so
did.
exciting. I don't know. That just makes me happy to hear that. I love that. Because manifestation is possible. People just need to believe it. You're right. Get out of that fear mindset. Get out of that limited belief system. Just really put it out there. And I love it. I mean, it's so funny. Even earlier today, a friend of mine was complaining about, I don't know why I bother dating. It only lasts a short period of time anyway. it just cost me a lot of money. And, it's like, why do I even bother? I'm like, well, you're not going to meet anyone with that mindset. You're not going to fall in love with that mindset. So I love that you really offer people help to find ways to open up, to receive and let go of that fear. And I think that's just beautiful. Yeah,
Thank you so much. By the way, I received that. It starts by loving yourself first, because if you really love yourself, then you can see the treasure in everyone. Like, I used to go on dates. Sometimes I actually showed up a little jaded to the date with Ben. Ben's like, oh, I had a little bit of an edge to me that he had to kind of warm me up. But I used to think every single person, not even on dates, like in the grocery store checkout line, in an elevator, every person has a message and a gift that the universe is trying to give me. And if I really listen and pay attention, then I'll get to my next step of my spiritual path. And people on dates have told me great information, and I've learned stuff from them and just their worldview. And if you think of it as fun, of, oh my God, here's someone sitting across from me. This is a person. This is a human being. This is a child of God. This person has a soul. And instead of objectifying them and thinking, oh, what can they do for me? How can they make me feel good? It's like, why don't you just connect with them and try to find the magic in them?
Oh, I love that. That's so beautiful. I want more people to do that, even in just everyday life.
It would be a lot more fun to date if everybody tried to see the magic in each other instead of selfishly to see what the other person could do for them.
Can you imagine if people did that with everything? I mean, how different everything would shift. It's like,
yeah, it would.
Really would. All right, so I will definitely put your links out there. I want people to reach out to you, if they've ever wondered on how to do it. It's like, what do I do first? Whether dating's not working or work's not working, or just some people are just miserable, and know that you can be happy just by getting to really know who you are. I have to say, this whole pandemic thing is really giving people an opportunity to really discover who they are. And so take advantage of that. So I would love people to reach out to you, because you're such an awesome person. You're so vibrant and warm, and you really listen. And I think people really get a huge benefit out of speaking with you.
I appreciate that. Well, we'll definitely give them the link to my free 45-minute breakthrough call. And like I said, I can help you just in that free 45-minute session. There's no strings attached or anything like that. I really just want to help people, because it is a really challenging time in this pandemic, and people are really being pushed to the brink. And if somebody can just be there to support them, and just be of service, I would love to be that person. And I also have the link to the free abundance journal prompts, which I think really help me, writing that every morning, just getting my mind right and having a morning practice. So so find me on Instagram at Rebecca E. Whitman. I'm on Twitter and Clubhouse at Rebecca E. Whitman. And Sophia will put my other links in the show notes. And let's stay in touch, and let's see how I can support you, because you deserve to have an aligned, balanced, harmonious life. And that is what I'm here to help you do.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so very much, Rebecca. I hope you have a beautiful day today, and I look forward to talking with you again soon. I would love to have you back on, maybe in a few months, as the year starts going on and things start shifting even more, because every day seems to be something new.
I know, right? It's like, put on your roller coaster and let's go. We're going for another year.
Right.
And I will see you very soon, because you and I are having lunch together very soon. So I'm looking forward to that.
As am I. Thank you so much.